few hours, people steamed enough to overcome the major dominant force that controls big business, big government, labor, and almost every department and agency in Washington, which is corporatism. It's the merger of big business and big government, with big business twisting big government either against its own people or as a welfare giant for big business. Handouts, giveaways, subsidies, bailouts. You've read all about them, especially the Wall Street bailout, the Wall Street crooks. And the question is, how do we get people steamed? Okay, well, one way is to abridge a couple hundred corporate outrages from the mainstream press. Basically, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, AP, who have documented again and again the abuses of corporations against patients, that's health insurance companies, drug companies, against savers, against people who have pensions, looting pensions, the Wall Street crash, against the environment, local, national, global, the toxics, the silent violence of corporate residues, against the taxpayers' assets in government by controlling our public lands, which we own, controlling our public airways, which we own, and controlling our public research and development that's built most of these industries, which is our money, and we get nothing in return in terms of being capital participants. Do you know that this is something that's amazing about how we all grow up corporate? We open a newspaper, we see a full-page ad about all the great R&D of the drug companies, Pfizer, and all the great R&D of Lockheed Martin, and all the great R&D of all these other technology companies and financial instruments, etc. Well, the financial instruments are very heavily subsidized, first of all. I mean, banks, insurance companies, a whole variety of ways. Tax expenditures, outright subsidies, government-free services, bailout, implicit understandings. But just consider, where would the following industries be without your tax dollars? Trillions of dollars over the last 50 years. Aerospace, pharmaceutical, semiconductor, biotechnology, containerization, and on and on. Without your tax dollars coming out of NASA, National Institutes of Health, Department of Agriculture, Pentagon, you wouldn't recognize these agencies. Most everybody knows now that the internet was funded by the Pentagon. The Pentagon created the internet and subsidized Intel and Microsoft and all kinds of tax credits, which is like an annual check from the Treasury at your expense.